Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Europe for round 9 of the 2003 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located approximately 60 kilometers northwest of Koblenz, the Nurburgring combines short straights with a challenging combination of slow, medium, and fast turns. Whilst the new Nurburgring pales into insignificance compared to the original Nordschleife circuit, the fatalities of yesteryear more than justify today's safety standards, which render the old 14-mile loop redundant.
Here we are in qualifying, and the car doesn't feel quite right. I don't know why or what's wrong, but I find it a bit difficult to control. Anyway, we crossed the line in 1:49.083, which is quite slow. Hopefully the car will feel better in the race.
Hello there. Welcome to Europe. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Kimi Räikkönen first. Michael Schumacher second. David Coulthard consistently outpaced his championship rival. He starts third. Heidfeld fourth. Cristiano D'Amata was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts fifth. Montoya sixth. Jos Verstappen seventh. Jacques Villeneuve eighth. Giancarlo Fisichella ninth. Antonio Pizzonia 10th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen 11th. Barrichello 12th. Alonso 13th. The Toyota driver 14th. Trulli 15th. Schumacher 16th. Mark Webber 17th. Button 18th. Ralph Furman 19th. Justin Wilson 20th.
Here we are on the grid with a slightly more normal lineup compared to last time, although we do have Ralf Schumacher in the bottom half of the field. Lights are out and we're off with a okay start. There's already some contact as we're rushing down into turn 1. Let's make sure we stay vigilant through here. And someone comes from behind and crashes into the back of Frentzen Sauber. It looked like a Williams. All the while Alonso collides with my teammate. That's one heck of a way to start off a race. So let's see some replays. First we have the starts proper, and it looks like everyone gets away cleanly, although we know that's not true since there was contact almost immediately after the light went out. And now we see everyone rushing into turn 1 where calamity ensues. There's so much going on all at the same time that I can't even commentate on it. There are wings and wheels all over the track. And we're now on board with Ralph Furman, who gets a pretty decent start and taps Webber from behind. But now for the main event. We are looking at Ralf Schumacher, who crashes into the rear of Frentzen's car. The impact propels the Sauber into the back of Barrichello's Ferrari. Meanwhile, Alonso crashes into the rear of the Mata's Toyota. Then, Ralf Schumacher crashes into the both of them. One more look, we can see Ralf Schumacher on the right side of the image. He crashes into Frentzen, who crashes into Barrichello. At the same time, a bit further up the field, Alonso crashes into D'Amata. By this point, Schumacher's car is uncontrollable without one of its wheels, so it slides into the rear of Alonso's Renault and teammate D'Amata's Toyota. And that's a total of 5 retirements after just one corner of the race. That's a big one. Too bad red flags are not programmed into the game, because if there were, this race would definitely be red flagged. That was a very big crash. In real life, the race would have been stopped and restarted. This situation kind of reminds me of that incident in Belgium in '97, I believe it was, when Coulthard lost control of his McLaren, crashed into the wall on the start-finish straight, then his car was thrown by the force of the impact into the path of oncoming cars, effectively wiping out most of the field. Yeah, I think it was '97, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. A few corners later I get informed of another incident, so the carnage seems to continue. we definitely need a red flag. And we're on board with Ralph Burman, who's coming into turn 1. There's the Williams of Ralf Schumacher and the West McLaren of Raikkonen, which Burman taps slightly, even though it was a small tap that could have turned out to be much worse. Anyway, hopefully things will return to normal now. Coming around to finish lap 2, and there is yet another incident at turn 1. Let's have a look. First, we actually have a look at Raikkonen's crash because I didn't notice until I was looking for the footage of Coulthard's collision that Raikkonen was not involved in the lap 1 incident. And there we saw Raikkonen crash into the Williams of Ralf Schumacher. And we're now on board with David Coulthard. He's coming into turn 1. He tries to find a way around the damaged cars, which leads to him tapping the side of Raikkonen's car. If you need any more reasons for why we should have red flags in the game, well, it's all in this video. It's actually kind of weird that they didn't program that in. I don't think it would have been that hard. Although I'm not a programmer, so I don't really know. Here's lap 4 as I'm chasing after Jos Verstappen who is about 5 seconds up the road. And as I exit the chicane, I take too much of the curbing on the exit, unsettling the car and spinning it around. And so I've now lost time and position. We're now down in 10th, so we need to pay a little more attention. This is lap 5 and I miss my braking point completely and go off the track again. And my problems from qualifying are continuing. The car is very hard to control for some reason. Anyway, we are now coming around to finish lap 5. I have truly right on my gearbox and it sounds like he crashed into the pit wall. Then Button crashed into him as well just for good measure. And here we have the replay. We are coming through the final chicane. Weird line for me through there, but truly cuts the track. Now we come into the final corner, and truly, instead of slowing down and getting behind me, decides to drive straight into the wall. Well done, you. Here's another look from Wilson's perspective. We come into the final corner, and from here it looks like there was more than enough room for Truly to stay beside me. But no, he had to drive into the wall and cause an accident, taking Button out as well in the process. That was reminiscent of a few crashes we had in Monaco, where the AI chose to simply drive into the wall instead of slowing down and getting behind the car they were following. This is lap 7, and I'm trying to catch Fisichella, and for some reason the car refuses to turn all of a sudden, and now I'm going to be overtaken by Wilson. Brilliant. Even more things to worry about. Lap 9 and Wilson has pulled away quite a bit, and the car decides that it doesn't want to go through the chicane. I really don't know why the car is behaving like this. It's so difficult to control. It's like I'm driving a completely different car. Lap 13 and I got in front of Wilson thanks to the fact that he made his pit stop. And again I lose control of the car through this high-speed chicane. This is starting to become quite frustrating. The car really doesn't feel right. I should have had no problems driving through that chicane, yet I lost control of the car through there so many times during this race. And now I go wide through this right-hander, allowing Wilson to overtake me again. Thankfully not for long. We've just started lap 14 and Justin Wilson crashes into me. Damn it, he damaged my suspension. This is not good. Now it's even more difficult to control. Thanks for nothing, Wilson. And here is the replay. We come into turn 1, I go a bit wide on the exit there. Now for turn 2, the left-hander. Well, to be fair, I kind of cut across Wilson's path, but he shouldn't have been there in the first place. I'm going to drive until the end of the lap, see how the car feels. If I think I can continue, I will. On the other hand, if I think that it's not worth it, well, then I'm afraid I will have to retire. And here is the biggest test, the high-speed chicane. Nope, not happening. That's it. That felt even worse than before. I'm sorry guys, but I will have to retire. I know you'd much rather have me soldier on with a damaged car and try to finish regardless, but the car was a handful even before my suspension was damaged. Now it's an absolute nightmare to control. I usually do try to finish a race when my car is damaged, but still somewhat controllable. Unfortunately, this time around, it's not worth my trouble. Funny, since the last season, I actually won the Italian Grand Prix with a damaged suspension, but that was slightly different, since the car didn't handle like us. This time it did, and here I am coming into the pits to retire. Sad day for Toyota having both cars retired from the race. And look at that, only 11 cars finished the race. I'm not happy right now. The season hasn't gone well for us so far, and I don't really see any improvement. Well, this is it. Not much more left to say, except for the fact that I'm really annoyed. That's the third retirement of the season.
That was an absolutely breathtaking European Grand Prix. Here are the final results. Schumacher first. David Coulthard second. Montoya third. Heidfeld fourth. Webber fifth. Verstappen sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Montoya moves further ahead in the Drivers' Championship.
Juan Pablo Montoya leads the driver standings with 40 points, Coulthard moves into second with 37 points, Michael Schumacher is third with 34 points, teammate Damata is fourth with 32 points, we are fifth with 31 points, in sixth we have Raikkonen and Alonso with 26 points, Ralf Schumacher is seventh with 19 points, Furman eighth with 16 points, Villeneuve ninth with 15 points, 10th is Wilson with 14 points, Webber and Heidfeld share 11th with 9 points, 12th is held by Button with 7 points, Verstappen is 13th with 6 points, Frentzen and Pizzonia share 14th with 5 points, Fisichella is 15th with 3 points, and Barrichello 16th with 2 points.
McLaren share the lead of the Constructors' Championship with Toyota. Williams are second, whilst third place is held by Ferrari.
Our team shares first with McLaren in the Constructors' standings with 63 points, Williams are second with 59 points, Ferrari are third with 36 points, Renault fourth with 26 points, with 22 points in fifth we have BAR, Minardi in sixth with 20 points, Jordan holds seventh with 19 points, whilst eighth is shared between Sauber and Jaguar both with 14 points. That was completely disappointing, and I've just matched the number of retirements I had in the 99 season. There were 3 back then as well. Things are not going very well, for us at least. Something needs to change and fast. Unfortunately, however, our next race is the French Grand Prix, one of my worst circuits, so I'm not expecting much from that race, but we'll have to see how things go. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you somehow can, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.